Hey guys, how's it going? Companion. So day one of launched Path of Exile has ended, and there's a few things that are really cool in the game. Obviously, I got a good night's rest, and now I'm making this video, so I'm a little bit more alert of what's going on. But a lot of people have played since the launch, and they're doing very well on the ladders. The two leagues are pretty cool. I've only been playing the Nemesis, but I've heard pretty good stuff about the Dominion. In Nemesis, the monsters that are like the rare monsters, they get an additional affix, and this additional affix, we kind of thought would be a joke, but it's really not. Some of these are absolutely crazy. There's one that stacks a bleed every time you hit the monster, and when it stacks, it just goes crazy. A lot of people die to this mechanic. A lot of people die to a mechanic where they have like kind of like an enchanted. So if you play Diablo 2, like fire enchanted, when it would die, it would just blow up, and then you would die along with the monster sometimes. So they have that kind of mechanic going on, but they have it for all the three elements. So it kind of catches people a little bit off guard where, they step into Merciless, they realize they can't really get all the resist that they want, and they can't really do anything about it, And this rare comes along, they don't see what it has, they kill it too quickly, then it blows up for like, I don't know, cold damage. You're at like -40 cold resist, which I've done before, and then you're dead. So there's a lot of stuff like that that really punishes a lot of people who aren't really, that well off in terms of the game and the character they're playing. So some pretty cool stuff. A lot of very hilarious deaths. The game is really awesome. I'm not going to spoil the final boss fight or anything like that yet. I know a lot of people are still working towards the game. I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm not going to spoil it, but it is really epic. And I mean, like, the voice of the final boss when he comes in, all the stuff that happens, it's just really awesome. And they did a really good job. I really thought Piety was pretty fitting as a final Act 3 boss, but the game just got way cooler in terms of the content. So very, very good stuff there. As far as the people playing it, I know some people watched me stream the game last night, and I was still like 10K viewers, and people are like, whoa, what's going on? This is Path of Exile. Like, we're used to 3 or 4 digit viewer numbers. What's going on? Well, what's going on is Path of Exile launched on Steam, and people who browse Steam, I'm assuming that like good games. And one of the things they like better than good games are good games that are free. Wow! So I'm guessing a lot of people from Steam headed over and checked out the game. And for those players, I think they're in for quite a ride. They'll probably have to re-roll a bunch of times. And speaking of which, I actually re-rolled yesterday. I was doing pretty well. I was near the top of the ladder. I didn't take it too crazy because just kind of like whatever. I was making the Trapper build. Yesterday I discussed a few builds that I was thinking of doing, and I ended up going with the Trapper / Miner, where some people ask me how it works. It's really simple. When you link, let's say, Fire Trap to Remote Mine, you're putting a mine, and when the mine goes off, you send a trap. But the trap goes out randomly, you can't aim it. So it's a little bit clunky. But the scaling is ridiculous because Remote Mine has like a 1.5, 1.6 multiplier depending on the quality of the gem. And then the mine and trap nodes, which are insane, they double dip on that damage, so the damage is just crazy. And I was actually using fire traps since level 14 or something, and I was doing more damage than people in my group who were Spectral Throw. Not a lot more, but a little bit more. And if you're aware of this, Spectral Throw is pretty fucking good. So relatively it kind of works. It's a bit clunky though. But the more I leveled my character, the more I realized that in groups, traps are really not very exciting. I played in the 1 week turbo, I played it solo, and doing it with traps, maneuvering the position of the mobs, barely staying alive the whole time, the experience was incredible. And then I do the Nemesis shit, and there's like 4 people in my group dancing with the weapons using Spectral Throw, and the mobs are just standing there, and I'm just like trapped. There's no running around. I can't guide the monsters because the monsters are either permanently stunned by the weapons, or they're just following someone else. So it just felt like not really the same game. It felt kind of like a joke, and I wasn't really too happy with it. On top of that, while it was effective, the build more and more resembled the build that I had done with the Duelist in the 1 week turbo. And you know me, in Path of Exile, I really don't want to make the same character more than once, even though, yes, the passive tree got completely changed and all that. I wasn't really digging it. So I was like, I don't know, maybe 7th on the ladder or some shit like that. And I just called it quits. Like, fuck that. I'm not making the same character again. I'm not going to be tied down to this crap again. So I re-rolled, and I made Xena, the Xena Warrior Princess. I made a Ranger. Yes, Scion was really cool because it's new and all that. But I don't know. I thought I'd get into it a little bit more than I did. I didn't really feel that much attachment to the character. Maybe it's just me. So I decided to go the Ranger because it is a little bit more effective. Not a lot more effective, but a little teeny weeny bit more effective. And it's nice to min-max sometimes. So I went with the Ranger, and I'm going swords, and I'm going Spectral Throw, using Leap Slam, using Double Strike. And, you know, the character's doing really well. I pretty much killed the final boss in like 2 seconds. The damage is just absurd when you get all the sword nodes at the beginning. So I was really happy with that. That's one of the large reasons why I chose Ranger over Scion, because I knew, you know, being behind in the race because of my reroll, even though I didn't die, would be a problem because it'll be hard to group with people. And frankly, I didn't really want to group with people. So doing it solo is very important to have a very strong character from the early stages of the game. And the Ranger accomplishes that far better than a Scion does, at least on an offensive base. And, you know, I can kind of lack on the defensives a little bit because I play the game quite a bit. But as far as the new content, it is really awesome. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about to get back in and start leveling my character again. Right now I'm at the end of Cruel, and you know, it's going pretty well. Spectral Throw is a really amazing ability. I'll probably do a video to show you guys how it scales and what you want and all that. There's a lot of people like this ability. It is the starting ability of the Scion, and it is a good one. You know, I had my doubts at the beginning, but Spectral Throw is actually a really good ability. I don't know about endgame scaling, but when it comes to a melee ability that isn't really melee, but it scales off of a lot of melee-ish type of skills, it's very effective to kill a really dangerous boss because the range is just enough. At, you know, just the right range, you can do optimal damage, and that is a really big deal. That makes it so, you know, those characters that spark and sit in the back and run around and do nothing, you know, those guys aren't going to carry you. You're going to carry them with Spectral Throw, because at that distance, you're going to do tremendous damage, and you're going to be really useful to the group. So, skill is amazing. The game is amazing. I'm really glad so many people are getting a chance to check out this great game that's actually been out for quite some time. So, hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.